Hi, this is Rick Tyler and it's another Octbox design video, and what I want to do today is just give all those anglers that are waiting for the electric barra a bit of an update. First of all, thank you very much for all of your patience. I know we were hoping to get it ready and out by December last year, and we're already into May this year and we still haven't got it. One of the reasons was we just weren't happy with, to start with, the gearbox. The first problem we had was it was a locking gearbox, which meant if you'd have had a problem with the battery, you'd have struggled to push it. And then we came on to the problem with the wheels. I wasn't happy with the wheels we used last year because they were for the golfing industry, designed to carry golf bags. And that was the same for the gearbox. And that's really what this year's model's all about. So we've completely developed a new wheel for our electric barra with a hub, and as well as that, instead of using the old style differentials that were available to us from the golfing market, we've even developed one of those as well, and as you can see, it's a much better piece of engineering than the old design. Now, one of the things that I was keen to develop was as a wheel specific for the angler. Most of the golf wheels tend to be about 25 centimetres in diameter because they're moving golf bags. The bigger the wheel, the easier it is to cover ground with divots and that sort of thing. What I didn't appreciate is how long it was going to take to get the moulding right to produce this style of hub, because obviously for a motorised wheel you don't want a wheel with bearings, you want a wheel that's going to take a differential. And then when we took a look at the differentials that were being proposed, we weren't happy with those. So as a result of that, we've ended up going to the differential we've now got here, which is milled out of a piece of several components, but they're all milled out of alloy, and they're relevant, I think, to the performance we're trying to achieve. And so that's another aspect. So we were just getting close, and the final hurdle we had was the axles were of a steel that was just not hard enough. So it's just those little niggly things whenever you're developing a new item, but I think most of you will agree, and I thank you again for your patience. It's better to bring it out right first time, and it has been quite a complicated project. Right, the front module, as you can see, is quite a compact component. Once you've tipped the barra up onto its rear and got the actual seat box chassis up at 45 degrees, just slot straight into the foot plate, and it's a case of taking the heavy duty curly cable and connect it to the rear. The components within the motor itself, you've got the lithium battery that's got a quick release connector and a quick release carriage. You've got a worm gearbox and a motor that's got 230 watts, but it's starting off, it's a very high grade motor that can do, before gearing, 5,700 revolutions a minute, and that's allowed me to create a gearing ratio of 60:1. That means for every 60 turns of the motor, it's rotating that axle just once, and the torque that's given you, combined with the bigger wheels and the narrower track, because the narrower the wheel is designed to get more traction. In other words, there's no point having loads of torque if your wheels are just going to slip. And anyone that's took a sports car with big, wide, sporty wheels onto wet grass will find, it will slip and you won't get anywhere near the performance of, say, a Skoda with little narrow wheels. And the wheel has got a quick release button, so it's literally clipped straight onto the axle and removed off the axle in seconds. Once you've fitted the front module in, you simply connect the front module to the rear wheel system with this robust extendable cable, and I find the easiest way is just to run it down underside, under the foot plate, and then up through the side, and connect it straight into the banana plug, which is a very substantial waterproof plug. In terms of the control box and everything, that's as we had last year. So it's a simple on-off switch at the back of the system. a little LED light to tell you you've got power, and a throttle, a little speed dial to control the speed of the system. In terms of availability, where we are at now, most of it has been made. There's a few components that are still being made. We expect all of the components to be ready by the end of July, and then I've got about 4 weeks shipping for some of the components, so it's going to be about the end of August when we'll have it available to you. We'll be putting it in the web shop in July, and just putting the message on, if you want it, please just send us an email and we'll put you on a register, and then give you a call when we know what the shipping date is to take payment.